Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you already know that the league is buzzing with a significant development involving the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And trust me, this isn't just some minor roster move. This could have serious implications for both teams, especially when it comes to the Steelers' quest for another deep playoff run. Yes, we're talking about the recent trade involving Kyle Duggar, a safety who's been making waves in New England, and now, potentially, he could be heading to the Steel City. Let's unpack what this means, why it matters, and how it could reshape the AFC North landscape. To start, it's important to understand the context. The Patriots, under their new head coach Mike Vrabel, are clearly entering a period of transition. Vrabel, who was previously a linebacker coach and then defensive coordinator, took over as head coach after a period of instability and roster reevaluation. Naturally, with a new regime comes a reshuffling of the deck, a reassessment of players, and sometimes tough decisions. And one of those decisions revolves around Kyle Duggar, a talented safety who signed a 4-year, $58 million deal last year, making him one of the more highly paid safeties in the league. But despite his contract and talent, Duggar has been falling down the depth chart. Since Vrabel took over, Duggar has been relegated to a backup role, with the Patriots now leaning heavily on Jabril Peppers, Jalen Hawkins, and Craig Woodson at safety. It's a clear shift, and with roster cutdowns approaching, those final days where teams have to trim their squads from 90 to 53 players, things are getting tense. The Patriots are faced with some tough choices. Do they keep Duggar, who's been playing late into preseason games and working with the second team, or do they cut bait and try to recoup some value through a trade? It's a classic NFL dilemma, but one that could have big repercussions. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Given the circumstances, it seems like a trade makes more sense than simply cutting Duggar loose. Teams are always on the lookout for versatile, playmaking safeties, especially ones who can contribute in multiple roles. And that's exactly what Duggar brings to the table. He's not just a traditional single-position safety, he's capable of playing in the slot, in the box, or even moving around the defensive line when needed. That kind of versatility is gold in today's NFL, where defenses are increasingly hybrid and positionless. So naturally, the Steelers come into the picture as a prime landing spot. Why the Steelers? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Last offseason, the Steelers traded Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for Jalen Ramsey. That move was designed to bolster their secondary, but it also left a noticeable gap in the safety position. Currently, the starters are Deshaun Elliott and Juan Thornhill, both talented players, but behind them, the depth gets dicey fast. Chuck Clark, Miles Kilbrew, Sebastian Castro, and Quindell Johnson provide some backup, but the overall experience and versatility are lacking. That's why adding a player like Duggar makes perfect sense. They get a safety who can fill various roles, provide depth, and help them stay competitive throughout the season. And let's not forget, Pittsburgh isn't just looking for a depth piece. They want a player who can be a true all-around playmaker, someone who can step in at safety, but also contribute in the slot or even at corner if needed. Duggar, with his skill set, fits that mold perfectly. Imagine him lining up in nickel packages, playing close to the line of scrimmage, or dropping back into coverage. He brings a dynamic element that could really elevate the Steelers' secondary. Especially considering the importance of secondary play in today's NFL, where passing games are more explosive than ever, having a Swiss Army knife like Duggar can be a game changer. Now, thinking about the bigger picture, this potential trade also signals something about the Steelers' strategy. It shows they're willing to be aggressive this season, to add talent that can immediately impact their defense. With a solid core led by players like T.J. Watt and a developing secondary, Pittsburgh's front office clearly recognizes the importance of bolstering their safety position. Duggar's arrival could give them that extra edge, especially since they're always looking to improve their versatility and depth for the grueling NFL season. But let's also look at the broader AFC North landscape. The division is fiercely competitive, with teams like the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns all vying for supremacy. Pittsburgh knows that a strong secondary can be the difference maker in close games, especially when facing high-powered offenses. If they can add Duggar and keep him healthy and integrated into their scheme, it could give them a crucial advantage, another weapon in their defensive arsenal. And for Duggar himself, it's a chance to reboot his career, showcase his talent, and be a key piece in a team with Super Bowl aspirations. You see, the Steelers aren't just making a move for the sake of it. They're strategically filling a need that's become apparent through their recent games and roster evaluations. The NFL is all about matchups, and having a flexible safety like Duggar who can play multiple roles makes them more unpredictable and difficult for opponents to game plan against. Plus, with the season approaching quickly, time is of the essence. The Steelers' front office, led by GM Omar Khan, has been very active this offseason, making moves to optimize their roster for a deep playoff push. Adding Duggar could be the final piece in that puzzle. Now, circling back to the Patriots, it's clear they're entering a rebuilding phase. Trading Duggar makes sense from their perspective too, freeing up cap space and roster spots for younger players or new acquisitions. They're in a phase of transition, and sometimes, moving on from a player who no longer fits the new system is the best move. It's a strategic decision that could benefit them in future drafts or free agency. But for Pittsburgh, this move represents an opportunity to add a talented safety who can make a difference right now, not later. And let me tell you, if this trade happens, it won't just be a minor transaction. It could set the tone for the rest of the season. The AFC North is already shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in recent memory, with all four teams having a legitimate shot at the playoffs. Pittsburgh's defense, which has been solid but could use that extra spark, might just get it with Duggar on board. The combination of his versatility, youth, and potential to fit into multiple defensive schemes makes him a perfect fit for the Steelers' ongoing quest for consistency and excellence. As fans, we always look for those moves that can change the course of a season, and this is one of those moments. Whether Duggar becomes a key starter or a valuable rotational piece, his presence could elevate the entire defense. And when you think about the Steelers' history, tough, physical, resilient, adding a player like Duggar only enhances that identity. It's the kind of move that shows the team's commitment to winning in this highly competitive era of the NFL. So in summary, keep an eye on this story. The potential trade of Kyle Duggar to the Steelers isn't just a headline, it's a move that could shape the AFC North's hierarchy and influence the Steelers' Super Bowl chances. It's a strategic play that fits their current needs and their future ambitions. The Steelers have always been about smart, impactful moves, and if this one comes to fruition, it might just be the boost they need to take that next step towards championship glory. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think adding Kyle Duggar is the right move for the Steelers? Do you believe he can be that versatile weapon in their secondary and help them push for another Super Bowl appearance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. We're all in this together, and your passion and insights keep this community alive and thriving. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the faith and let's go Steelers.